Hi, Facebook. So to all you treasure hunters, if you're armchair treasure hunting, I accept donations, and today $10 would woohoo my life. I need gas. I want to get to the beach one more day. Today's Monday, and then tomorrow or Wednesday my credit card will come, but I could just sit here in the parking lot or I could sit at the beach. Anyway, John Collins Black, I just went live on Facebook and I was talking about how he used to dig up quartz. So I'm on page 174. Beautiful year, by the way. I was talking about him and then I opened the book and guess where I'm at? Where he's talking about what I was talking about. Okay, in chapter 4, I shared a memory when as a kid I dug vigorously in the dirt looking for beautiful crystals. I spent a lot of afternoons in that empty lot. As you already know, small chunks of dark, smoky quartzite were mostly all I found. But this was my earliest memory of feeling as if I was really searching for physical treasure. I treasure hunt for rocks in my own yard, and then I stop myself because I'm like, I own this, it's already here. But I love doing it. It's kind of like the kids that bury their own toys in the sand so they can dig those up. I still do. Back to John. It made perfect sense then for me to set out to acquire a special item for our treasure made from smoky quartz as an homage to that memory. Indeed, it would not have been difficult to do so. I knew that many pieces of fine quality Asian art were carved from smoky quartz. I was well aware that Fabergé used smoky quartz crystals in many of its fine pieces too. And even Rob Levinsky had shown me several specimens of smoky quartz worth substantial amounts in his rare signature collections. Okay, so in chapter 4, he talks about smoky quartz and how it was disappointing. That's all he found. Now, I think this is chapter 20. It's page 174. Yes, chapter 20 is a 6-figure diamond cut smoky quartz. It says, from the very moment I sat down to blueprint this treasure hunt, I wanted to endow a piece of myself into every part of it. Justin Posey did the same thing. Now, one of the guys I watch, I like his videos because he just gets to it. Now, K-Pro and Kalazar, Gemma and Jay, I like them as people. Their videos annoy me. I don't want to hear songs you made up. I like how Y-Files and AJ with, his fish. What's the fish's name? Oh my God, I cannot believe I forgot the fish's name. Anyway, I like at the end he plays the truth in the song. I like that, but I don't like this. I just don't like it. I don't know. I love you guys. I don't like it. I am looking for someone who wants to treasure hunt. I'm looking for a Cynthia Meacham type person, preferably retired. Now, right now, I just have my truck and a tent. Eventually, I'm going to get a soft top and then a camper, but the camper costs as much as the darn truck. So, the other thing, I have my Nissan Rogue. I got when I get home, I got to put $1,000 into that, but that's cheaper than fixing this. So, I always just do what needs done at the cheapest cost. That's how I roll. Alright, so back to the treasure. Smoky quartz. Smoky Mountains. I've been listening to She's Somewhere in the Smoky Mountain Rain. And it's been raining the whole time. And it's kind of washed out. In fact, that's why I just took off to Florida. Well, I went to Savannah because Fort Stewart and my dad. And I feel like my dad's with me always. So I went to Savannah, and then I couldn't figure out how to get to the beach without paying to park. So I wound up in Jacksonville, And then I was like, well, if I'm this close, I might as well go to Tallahassee. Well, I was going to go to St. Augustine, but I know there's a treasure hunter that thinks the treasure's in St. Augustine. I'm not getting it. He talks about Smoky Mountain. Well, he doesn't say Smoky Mountains, but he says Appalachian. He's from Asheville, where the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Appalachian Trail, and the Smoky Mountains are all right there. He knows that area. That was his stomping ground. So, that's my clues. And, if I find, when I find treasure, I'm sharing it publicly. The Bitcoin, now, the gold, I'll sell a little bit of the gold because I really want to do Hand Up Foundation. And I like GoFundMe, but I think they charge too much money. So my Hand Up Foundation, the idea is like, let's say someone comes to me, they got $10,000, saves their life. I hand it to them or pay their debt, however it has to happen. They then, in 6 months to a year, start their repayment plan, whatever they can afford. I mean, even if it's $20 a month, it just goes into the pay forward fund. And then the next person who comes, maybe they only need $2,000. Someone else needs $5,000. Someone needs $3,000. 3 people get helped off the same 10. Now, it's just going to be a flat interest rate of 10%. So, yeah, borrow 10 grand. Yeah, pay back 1,000. But all the money is going to be based off Bitcoin, treasure, whatever gold I sell. But I'm going to keep it when I find the treasure, I'm going to be like, it looks like this. And I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take off a few chunks of gold, Bitcoin. Now, the actual coins I'm going to leave with the treasure because you don't need that to use the Bitcoin. You just need the numbers. So, the numbers, I think, are on one side. So, we'll just have it in the case. No one's touching the Bitcoin because you ain't writing down the number and getting access. Sorry. Love you, but no. Anyway, that being said, when I find 5, 6, or more treasures, the beautiful one-of-a-kind relics are going to go to libraries, public schools, and museums. Now, all you rich kids in private school, now on St. Thomas, I will go to St. Peter and Paul because that's both the church and the school. I'll go to the synagogue, and then it's a Christian church. Andy and I used to go on Wednesdays. We always went for choir, like singing and praise. So I was, for a while, Friday I'd go to synagogue, Saturday I'd go to synagogue, Sunday I'd go to church, Wednesday I'd go to church. I love God. I was going to convert to Judaism, but the gay rabbi asked me not to bring my 2-year-old twins to service. Gay rabbi. All right. Back to the book. Not all, Catholic. I think the Pope's freaking satanic. I've always thought he looked demonic. Truth is coming out there. I love social media. The truth be with us. The truth will set us free. Alright. But something during those many days spent in that empty lot, a powerful association was formed. Since smoky quartz was all I was finding, this particular type of crystal came to represent disappointment and unrewarded toil. I'm feeling that way right now because I really have not got to treasure hunt since I left Virginia. It's all... Now, I don't know. I thought it was Hurricane Helen, but I heard it pronounced Helene. You can't get to the trail in half the spots I think the treasure is. So... be aware of that. I mean, my truck got stuck a little bit. If I wasn't Army strong, I'd still be stuck. And, the smoky quartz in quartzite, it's like $2 on up per rock. So, this one would be 100,000, but it's all levels. And if you love rocks, minerals, you can go out in the BLM for free all day long. You can use your ATVs, you can rock hound. Quartzsite, Arizona is the old people and rock collector capital I mean, it is heaven for us. That's why I bought a house there. This January, I will have had my house a year. It's already went up $40,000. So if I have $80,000 in equity, I can put in a pool. All right. So the smoky quartz, if you're finding it, look online. And like this one guy, pennies. So there's some pennies worth like 10 grand. So don't just, I used to just toss my, well, I still do. I just toss my pennies in the parking lot. Because even if it's worth 10 grand, I suck at selling shit. I suck at asking for money. I'm a veteran. I do it myself. Been doing it myself my whole life. All right. Okay, since smoky quartz was all I was finding, this particular type of crystal came disappointment and unrewarded toil. Just remember, when that happens, God's behind everything you do if you're a child of God. And as the years went by, whenever I encountered smoky quartz, those feelings from long ago arose to the surface as if no time had passed at all. So when I initially thought of adding smoky quartz to our treasure, I wasn't interested. See that big loud truck going by? That was JCB's enthusiasm for smoky quartz. Then he found the 100K smoky quartz. I love it. Oh, and all the jewelry is going to be worn because I'm going to wear all that jewelry up until I get it to the right establishment. And I got to insure it too. I got USAA. So I'll just add it to my homeowners and then I'll get valuable personal property. I know how to do this. And I worked for USAA for 2 years selling homeowners valuable personal property, auto, lots of stuff. And since time is money, I'm going to buy me a watch. I want a Breitling. So I'll buy it used. I know. Oh, actually, yeah, I think on St. Thomas, I used to work at Diamonds International. So I'll just find a homie that still works there and they get discount. So for like $3,000-$4,000, I'll get me a Breitling. And I'll buy it on Bitcoin. Time is money, so I spend it on a watch. Hey, that Doja Cat song, I thought she was saying I'm sleeping in quartzite. And I was like, who would sleep on quartzite? And what the fuck, quartzite? And then my car got stolen in Kingman. And now I'm the king of quartzite, Arizona. I'm about to put in, I call it La La Land. I'm going to have a swimming pool with a lazy river, a hot tub. In California, I had a palapa, a sand yard, grass. And then I'm going to put trees all the way around the perimeter that are like evergreen type that grow in the desert. La La Land. And then I'm going to build, so I'm allowed to have a shed, a pool house, a guest house, and a she shed. And then 2 trailers. So I can have 6 accommodations right on my property. So yeah, 12 plus if my 5 were there, that would work perfect because they just all have their own little house. All right. So I initially thought of adding smoky quartz to our treasure. I wasn't interested. I kind of thought the idea sucked. See, now I was reading that, a damn truck went by. But then you and I got lucky. Ooh, I'm going to get lucky and we'll find us that treasure. Our treasure. I'm going to find it. It took some very fortunate timing and a little ignorance for me to develop a new perspective on this topic. Ooh, where are you being stubborn? Where can you do better? One day, as I was browsing through a private collection looking for something completely different, that always happens to me, I came across a large gemstone that was truly breathtaking. The smoky quartz is. And I used to sell, so I was married to a gemologist, Brian Wallace. One time I sold a $30,000 diamond. This blows that out of the water. I had no idea what kind of stone it was, only that it was enormous in size. My initial response was, wow, This thing is incredible. I can't wait to hold it in my hand. What is that? By the time I read its description and saw that it was smoky quartz, the brain synapse that normally receives an image from my retina and then scoffs at it had somehow been rent inoperable. So, like Forrest Fenn, one of the guys in Golden Greed, says he lived rent-free in my house for months. Oh my God, he lived rent-free in my brain, in my head, for months. Oh, Forrest Fenn, Justin Posey, JCB, they ain't paying no rent in my head until I find this treasure. And then, because like the Forrest Fenn treasure, when Jack Stu found it right where I had been looking, if I had seen that big rock, I would have recognized it from the book. And I mean, the kids would have, because it was hot as shit there too, we would have went in that water. And then we would have ended up on the other side and chasing Asher, Andy, or our little dog Chachi. I would have found the treasure. Instead, my dogs, instead of dog Chachi, they're with bitch Chachi. But no harm, no foul. Once I want that olive jar, and I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to put it in the treasure, because depending on what it says, only 3 people know right now. Well, once I find it. If it's really personal, I'm going to keep it that way. If it's inspirational with a good moral, I'm going to have it displayed so that you can read it. And one of the ideas I had, because like the ruby necklace, that thing's worth $45,000. If rich people want to rent it, I could rent it for like $500 for 2 or 3 days. That way, you know, they can just blah, 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 and then their friends will want blah, blah, blah. And ideally, some bitch will rent it and be all like, "This is mine." And then her friend will find it available and she'll rent it and be like, "Need I say more?" But a true friend would tell the truth. "Oh, I rented this for $500 and all the money goes to charity." Because if they're paying $500, all the money could go towards housing the homeless, feeding the unfortunate. There's a lot of veterans that slip through the cracks. 22 of them kill themselves every day. Imagine if I've got, say, 10 pieces of jewelry and they're renting at rich people prices, so they're on display in the auction, or not auction, oh my God. I will never auction my treasures. They're on display publicly, safely, and like for kids, I'll let them touch it and play with it up to age, I don't know, maybe just elementary school, because beyond that, kids become thieves. I worked at junior high and I had a rock of obsidian. It was like a $40 rock. My kids used to love it, and as pieces would chip off it, they would ask me if they could have it. Yes, of course. Some of my smaller rocks that I rock hounded in Yellowstone, yes, of course. The teacher next door is like, "Oh, your rock collection's beautiful." I was like, "Oh, the kids love it." She's like, "What do you do? Throw the rocks at them when they're not paying attention?" And I was like, "No, I teach computers. I might break a screen." But no, the kids, they would come in and, I'd say 9 out of 10 of my students would just pick up a rock. And the first kid would always grab that big obsidian, and then the second kid would be disappointed he didn't get the obsidian. But all the kids would just sit and fidget with a rock while they were doing their computer assignments. It kept them quiet. It was beautiful. So if you're a teacher and a rock hounder, just put rocks on your desk. And if you got them for free, if the kids fall in love, use them as rewards, man. Kids love rewards. And don't give them candy, because of teeth, man. And candy's just bad. One time I laid in my mom's bed. It was right before Halloween. We bought a bunch of candy. I had just come back from Asia, so I was looking good, because I eat vegetarian down there. They don't even have cheese that I know of. I didn't find any. Oh, yeah, at Lake Pizza. So, yeah, the chain food is really good down there. So I was eating a little bit of pizza, but mostly I was eating authentic Asian local food. It was yummy. And it's organic. Don't even have to pay extra. So later, my mom's been eating candy for like 10 days. I gained 10 pounds when I got back to St. Thomas. None of my clothes, they were all like really tight. I had to wear stretchy waistbands for like 2 weeks. So don't give kids candy. But then you and I got lucky. Ooh. It took some very fortunate timing and a little ignorance for me to develop a new perspective on this topic. One day, as I was browsing through a private collection looking for something completely different, I came across a large gemstone that was truly breathtaking. I had no idea what kind of stone it was, only that it was enormous in size. My initial response was, wow, this thing's incredible. That's what I'm doing when I get the treasure. What is that? By the time I read its description and saw it was a smoky quartz, the brain synapse that normally receives an image from my retina and then scoffs at it had somehow been rent inoperable. The change in my long-held perspective was now fait accompli. I saw beauty in smoky quartz for the first time. It took my kids turning 18, but I saw beauty in Chachi McAllister for the first time. Because the Christians reminded me that I'm forgiving, I'm not letting go completely in the right. What did Jesus do on the cross? Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. She was, oh God, it was 6 years ago. I think she was 29 when she kidnapped my kids. I think she drugged me. She gave me this much tequila, a cup this size, like, it was like that much tequila. And I was like, oh God, do you got something to mix it? And she put like some kind of nasty guava nectar shit. I drank enough to get a little buzz because, you know, I'm a lightweight. But then she had 3 friends over, and I knew one of them from work because I always get a job on St. Thomas. In fact, if my kids want to stay in St. Thomas, I'll just get a job and go to boat captain school. But I hope they want to finish high school. My idea is they do a semester in California in Blythe, because that school starts August 7th. And then they'll make friends 30 minutes away in Blythe. And we'll have a pool next season. And then the second semester, I want them to go to Siloam, because the teacher to student ratio is 111 plus 111, triple ones. I don't know what that means. I'll look it up. Put it in the comments. But I love numerology, angel numbers. I love it. And Les Brown's is 777 yesterday. So I love 8s because I'm infinite 20. And a lot of people don't believe me that I'm turning 21 in 1 month. Exactly 1 month from yesterday, I am turning 51 years old. I have all my teeth because I don't do drugs. Now, I was being drugged from, probably started in 2018, 2019, and it ended in 2023. Maybe Bucci, maybe Andre. I suspected Andre, so I just put in security cameras and he quit sleeping over. But I don't know if I suspected him because he did it or because of my past. Bucci too. See, because of Gerald Lee Brown, I have a hard time trusting motherfuckers. So maybe that's good, because I used to just naively think everybody I just thought everyone at their heart loved God, loved Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whatever. I don't care who you love, as long as you love. Well, unless like you love Satan and act on that, because I know God loves Satan, but he's going to punish that motherfucker. Anyway, Dolores Cannon's prediction, the new earth, the hell that's being created, the lie became the truth. See, they tried to use Christianity and the demonic pope to scare us. They get to stay with the old earth, the hell, whatever war. The people that survive, it's going to be like that movie with Denzel Washington. Oh, God. Oh, he's a biblical guy. I want to say Isaiah, but it's Ezekiel. Is that it? Oh my God, it's the book not in the Bible because it's too true for them to manipulate. Anyway, I don't know, God, I get all these names. Like one time I was talking about Noah and the ark, and I said, well, Moses didn't take this long to build an ark. And Noah didn't take this long to guide the people out of Egypt.